Welcome to the Copper Age. You know what that means? I fear I have that backwards. Welcome to the world, little Sisyphus. While he's rolling that boulder up that hill, I have been doing a little bit of work. I've got those walls up, I got some of that roof up, and I went ahead and did this entire atrium. I think that's the word for it. One of these days I'll just look it up so I know for sure. So this is sort of like a walled garden or a courtyard, and I think I'm gonna do this today. After getting some of the walls around this area up, I realized it probably would make the most sense for me to do each individual sort of build at a time. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna go ahead and do this because it is the simplest and easiest right now, and then next we'll probably do that, and then probably the dining room over there, and then we got this big old boy. But for now, we're doing the walled garden. I haven't done any of the texturing on the walls yet, I just got them up and broke out some areas so that you can come in and out. I will probably add more of those. So as of right now, I think the inside of here is going to be on this level, and then this little atrium. The walkway around this is going to be on a half slab, I think is what I'm going to go with. As far as the floor itself, I think I kind of like tough for the floor. Because, I mean, it's just the walkway. Maybe something smooth, maybe like andesite. That could be nice. I'm also going to have to figure out a better way to get up here. Because as of right now, there isn't a way to get from down there to up here unless you go all the way around. So I'll have to do that. Alright, well, I want to get going on this garden, so I need to figure out what I'm going to put in it. Do I have anything in here? Actually, you know what? A little gravel path might be nice. We will probably want some glowberries, some ferns, some glow lichen, some of the small drip leaf. I don't know if I'll be able to use the hanging roots, but we'll definitely find out. Azalea leaves. Yeah, okay. Because those are evergreen, so it doesn't matter what biome those are in, so that's good. What do we got over here? Okay, we got the actual flowers. Nice. Could try the cactus ones. Definitely some firefly bushes for ambiance. I have got to get a better way to get up here. So this is what I've got so far. I have gone ahead and done the little covered area. I decided that I was just going to do this. I'm not trying to spend a whole lot of time, but I wanted to be generally symmetrical. But, you know, a little different than just a straight path. So then here, we have a decent amount of space, actually. So that's good. I was, when I was preparing for this, I was kind of expecting it to be, like, a little too cramped to do anything interesting. But I think that might not be the case. So because this is a garden, I'm kind of thinking, well, granted, I'm probably going to do this to the rest of the area anyway, or significant portions of it, but I think I definitely do want the moss as the grass. There isn't really an evergreen grass, is there? Yeah, well, I mean, it's not terrible, but when you put it under or next to regular moss, it's very obviously pale. Let's see, were there any others in there that aren't affected by that? These are just always that color, so there's that. Those are cool, okay. Bushes, maybe? No, they're definitely biome dependent. That is going to be interesting. Okay. Although, hold on. Why would I put grass in there if it's like a nicely kept thing? I'm stupid. What am I doing? Alright, that's a good start. I think I am going to go ahead and remove those as well. So the center of this is going to be here. Okay, so I want, I think, a little bit of a thing, something kind of small like that. And I want paths coming from these two ends, I think. And this is going to branch off to here. And I think I will go ahead and do one this way. So how does that look? Is that good enough for the paths, or do I need to add more? I think that's fine, because I can have a large section here, a large section there, and then 2 little sections on either side. I do kind of want to have at least a tree in here, probably a smallish one. So what am I going to do about that? Let's see. I suppose I could do a tree on either end like that. That could be pretty good. Or in the smaller section here, I guess I will mark that with bone blocks for now. I would love to add a fountain, but this is kind of getting a little squooshed. Hey Sisyphus, how's it going over there? Yeah, I have been standing around figuring out where I want things, and I think this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have a fountain here, and I'm going to have 2 entrances that might meet kind of around the edge. They might actually not. I think I'm okay with them not meeting. And then I think I'm going to do 4 trees with some bushes and flowery bits around that. So I think I'll go ahead and get the path in, since I think that'll be the easiest thing to do. Okay, if this works, this could look pretty cool. And then I should probably go with a wall. I think the chain would look a little silly like that. And then a barrel like that. Break this, collect all that, pick that up, and then... Right, so that's supposed to look like it's coming out of the barrel. But I think on this scale it's a little tricky to see that. Although I do kind of like the shape that this is getting to at this point. Just maybe sans barrel. You know what? Let's not complicate this. I think that's pretty good. I do kind of want to play around with this a little bit to see if that angle could be better in a different way. So here we'll give it some ears. Kind of like it's a frog or something. Okay, I don't dislike that. I think if I were to actually build that up a little bit more, I could make it into like an intentional thing. Do I want to do that? I will give it a try. Okay. Well, this was definitely not the answer I was looking for. This is still a success. And that is because one of the important things is finding the right place to stop, going a little bit further, realizing that you need to just pull it back. Because if you stop right when you think you have it, you'll never know if... You'll always kind of be thinking in the back of your head, man, you know, if I push that a little bit harder, I think I could get it to look a little better. And then, in this case, you push it just a little farther, and you're like, you know what? Actually, nope, I had that right. Okay. So, nice little fountain. Good to go. I should probably work on these trees, because that's going to be a thing. How big do I want them to be? I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with that, actually. Let me get some fences just to see if I like that better. So I added these little support structures that I think look pretty good. I was originally going to go with like an arch, but I couldn't quite get the arch to look right, so I decided to go with just a straight across beam. I can't quite decide which of the fence posts I like the most. I'm kind of leaning towards oak or maybe birch, but I kind of like both of those as well, so let me know in the comments which one you think. But for now, I have cleared a little bit of the area of this because I want to add a little bit more ambiance and magic to this area. We're going to put some firefly bushes under this. Now, when I start covering these up, because they're no longer getting any sunlight, they are going to pretty drastically start putting out some fireflies. And look at that, we now have a magical little garden. So cool. So next, I want to start getting some of the bushes and stuff down. I'm going to use the dead bushes and some of the azalea leaves. And I kind of want to have a little bit of a sort of barrier around here. Okay. And then on top... Oh, no. Okay. So then carefully on top of that, we'll put some of those guys. And I think we'll actually bring that up too. I'm going to give it a try, but I kind of think that might be too much. I don't think that's the way to go, which is a shame, but I think that's just how it is. Maybe let's try stepping it away from that and making it a little thicker. We'll give that a try. I've definitely seen people do that to like make it look very full, and then we can go and add a sneaky little shroom light to that. Okay, yeah, I'm very happy with that. I like how really thick it looks because of the moss and how deep it goes, and the fact that there's going to be a light source under there. Okay, so I'm going to mirror that on all 4 of the sides here. And then I was curious how this would look. Oh, that's pretty nice, actually. I'm going to need to farm some of this stuff. That's nice. I like that a lot. Okay, let me get these bushes down. I guess the lightning storm really did hit. So I was doing some stuff, and then it started to thunderstorm, so went ahead, slept quickly, and then came out here and saw that this giant tree patch that I had built up was burning. And I was like, well, you know what? It's nowhere near anything else, so it's fine. I'm just going to let it burn. That's really not a problem. The thing that I realized, though, is that my plan was to make all of my ground moss. And moss is flammable. So I might have to think about that. So I've gotten all the big bushes up. And now I'm going to do a little thing here. A couple of benches here. And look at that. That's pretty good. Okay, cool. So now we can get on to the final step, which is going to be the actual flowers and decorations and things. So let's see. What if I just put those at the edge of each of these? Okay, looks good so far. Let's call those good for now, and then let's move on to the smaller flowers. So let's go along there. And then some of these guys. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, the only other thing that I'm kind of thinking of possibly doing is on a flower bed, it's probably not going to be grass. It's probably going to be something else. And I'm thinking, I kind of like podzol because it looks kind of like mulch, but I could also go rooted dirt. I might try both of those. I guess probably I ought to do that before I start putting down the rest of the flowers. You know what, I think it might actually be worth going back through and putting that under the bushes as well. And let's see, do I want to do the wildflowers? Or do I want to do the cherry blossom petals? That's a tough one. I suppose I could try alternating them, but I don't know if that would look too busy. I mean, we're already kind of approaching too busy for sure, but let's give it a try. I think I also might tone down the amount of pebbles and things in the area. Actually, that's a pretty good mix. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Pink, pink, and then wild. Oh man, this looks so good. Oh, that got rid of the fireflies. Okay, well, I don't like that. We will go here and here. Oh, so good. I may have gone overboard with the blue orchids, but they're kind of my favorite flower in the game, so I'm kind of okay with that. Such a peaceful little place. Got some axolotls in the pond. Fountain thing. Got some orange trees. So the fireflies are all hidden under here. I still have to go through and put the podzol into the bushes, but I'll do that at some point. Man, I'm so pleased with this. I just want to sit here and like watch. Oh, it's so good. Now, next episode, we're going to be taking a slight break from the castle because I need to start clearing out some of the stuff so that I can get stuff going. So, next episode, I'm going to be finding a new home for my bees. We're going to be building a big old beehive, probably in here. I think that's a good spot for it. In the meantime, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. I've been Chuck Ross. Bye-bye.